The Kendy and Raybo podcast, sponsored by Maves and the Garavogue Bar.
You're the worst director in the world.
And we're away.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. You know, like in the industry, they go 5, 4, 3.
Yeah, but you didn't tell me I had to do that.
Yeah.
Brendan went, oh.
Oh.
That meant we were alive.
Welcome back.
Stressed out. Geez, look at the condensation on this white
It's
hag.
kind of wet itself, hasn't it, the old white fawn?
An old session IPA. Yeah, welcome back, Ray. This is like the exhaustion of Ray. That sounds like an old film or something.
The
or
exhaustion
a book.
of Ray.
This is the book, a book from Ecclesiastes, The Exhaustion of Ray. Well, I said this weeks ago, like, I've been awful worried about you, and you're doing exactly the kind of thing that you would tell me not to do.
Oh, what's that?
Well, staying up for 24 hours.
Yeah, 24 hours. 23 hours.
Working like 9
crack.
days
Yeah,
straight.
yeah.
Are you nearly done, or what's the crack?
I know at some point now, Christmas.
Christmas,
Won't
you'll be
find it
finished
now.
with the... Are you in the full, like... Because I get like this sometimes as well. Are you in the full... I have to work.
I just have to keep going.
I have to just work now, and that's it, like.
Yeah, that's it.
But what happens then if you end up with your back going and having to go out to...
Oh, then I get a little break.
Yeah, a break in your back,
You
probably
break in the
more
back
than
and a
anything
break
else.
from things. Because you have to stop then recover.
Yeah,
But for the moment, I'm all right.
is that good though? Is that a
I'm
good thing?
enjoying my little white hag Oscar.
But career, is that a good thing to do or not? To be to go until...
No, it's not. And I admit, shut up about it now. Men don't like to talk about our problems.
Yeah, no, but I just... Okay, well, let's not talk about men problems. But can I talk to you about my prostate? No, I'm joking.
Yeah, no, that's good. You can talk about that.
Are you allowed to talk about prostates?
Oh, all the time.
But not about
if I was to ask you...
emotional and physical exhaustion.
If I to ask you now, take your pants off and point to your prostate, would you be able to tell me where it is?
I would, Ray, but if you wanted to point at your prostate, I would say maybe a lubed up glove first
Sorry.
to point directly at it.
That's because I don't know where it is.
It's in your ear.
Is it?
Yeah, it's in your ear. So your prostate is. So the doctor goes like this,
Yeah.
like that. He sucks his
Little
finger. And then
pop, yeah.
He goes, they called them Wet Williams back in the
Wet
day.
Williams.
Yeah. They were called Wet Williams.
Yeah.
Have you ever got my prostate? Yeah, no, we talked about this before. I've got my prostate checked
Yeah, see,
before,
I haven't.
Have you not?
No,
Oh,
I've
you
had-
love it.
I have an unchecked
Oh, Ray,
prostate.
you're going to love it.
No, I'm not. I'm
No,
fine.
yeah, you'll be going back again the next day.
See,
to get it
are
done
you
again.
telling me they go up inside?
Yeah,
Right.
your ear.
Your ear.
Yeah, I don't want to put people off.
It's an
but
inner ear exam.
They go right up in your ear, so make sure you've cleaned out your ear before.
Right. Yeah.
Make sure you've used the
Sorry,
cotton
that
bud.
just shows you my naivety there. As I said, point at your prostate.
Yeah, no. Show me on the prostate where you want me to touch you.
Yeah, exactly. Show me where I went.
Yeah, have you never got it done?
No.
But you're in your 40s.
I know.
Hang on, Ray. Men's health. Excuse me, men's health
This is a
alerts.
great section now as a man that would be representative of many of the men around the country.
Yeah, yeah.
I wonder, would any man now listening to this, do you know where your prostate is? Have you touched it?
Have you? Yeah. No, you're not
Are you
supposed.
not allowed to touch it yourself?
You're not supposed to touch your own prostate.
Ah,
No,
that's a shame.
You're not qualified.
I'm not enjoying that, and so.
Oh, you might enjoy
it's
it.
my
That's the
prostate.
problem.
I'll do what I want with it.
The problem is you might enjoy it
You
if
might
you do
enjoy
start
too much.
touching your own prostate.
Maybe Laura might touch it for me.
That's a whole different thing.
Is it?
Yeah, she won't be able to tell you if you're sick, but fuck me, she could. Laura, will you cut your nails? That's a great start to the episode.
Yeah.
No, but a men's health alert, Ray, you have to
Yeah, I might have talked to Dr. Joe about it.
talk. Oh, don't talk to Dr. Joe. Hang on a minute. now.
He'll tell me to go to Portugal. That
Yeah.
wouldn't happen if you were in Portugal.
Think about Dr. Joe. I'm sure he's brilliant and all, but
He is
like,
brilliant.
you need to start watching loads of TikTok videos that tell you that we're struggling.
No.
That's what's popping up on my page now.
What
all
do you
the
mean
time.
struggling?
The TikTok videos are popping up with somber music in the background, talking about the stuff that men have to go through.
Oh, God.
You know the way women have taken over the world.
Oh, yes.
Shower, you know what I mean?
Yeah. What do you mean they've taken over the world?
Just they've taken over. All of a sudden they're working now and they're walking around the towns and they're,
Yeah.
you know.
I did see an interesting video today about a lady, and she's saying what's like a perfect, like she was a pretty lady, and she was talking to a gentleman. And
No
the
wonder you were
gentleman-
listening. Go on.
And the gentleman was asking her a series of questions. He was kind of going, okay, right. So what kind of fella do you want? And she's going, right. Well, what do you want? What do you want to know? And he was like, well, what age group? And she said, somewhere between 35 and 45. And he was like, okay, cool. And then he said, and what's the minimum height? 5'10". He said, she said,
Like-
I'm just about squeezed in there.
No, I'm not. I'm fucking 5'7" or some
Are you?
shit. Like,
You're only small.
I'm only a small man.
But anyway, she said 5'10", nothing shorter. He asked, what if the man is, has a bit of holiday weight on? She's like, I'm not having that.
There you go.
Don't want the holiday weight.
No.
He said, what kind of income are we talking? She said, at least 100K. And then finally, and obviously we're excluding married men.
Yeah.
He said, and she's like, do you have to?
What?
Yeah. So the married men are out. fat men are out, short men are out,
Yeah.
and the broke men are out.
Yeah.
And once she did all that, he asked her how many men, what percent of the population in America this was.
Do you think that is?
Do you think that is? She said, what, like 40%? And he's like, 1%.
1%.
It's 1% of the population
Yeah.
are the men you're all fighting for.
Yeah. And you wonder why you're 42 now and you can't. No, listen to me. If you ask a man.
I was just feeling really happy
So-
for Laura. She got all her dreams come true, you know? Bar the little bit of holiday weight, maybe.
If you ask a fella something, if you're doing another kind of social experiment like that, and you
Yeah.
say to a fella, "What kind of woman are you?" He will say, "If I
pulse.
can open it,
She has a pulse.
if I can open it, I'll ride it." That's the answer that a fella will give.
Yeah. Oh, and the other thing as well is race-wise and that sort of stuff. She had no problem on the race. She said, "I'll take anything."
She'll race something.
She'll race anything. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, so like this would have been. This is okay. Maybe we're right and wrong in this, but let's discuss it as two married men who actually are out of the game.
Yes.
We don't have any skin on
Well,
our
we're not
Nicky
yet
for
now.
this.
There's always the second wedding.
Well, hopefully, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed,
yeah,
you'll meet that special someone.
Yeah, we might meet that special someone eventually.
I'm on the lookout for a new wedding. ring.
So the point I'm trying to make is that are women more picky than men?
Yes.
Yes, they are.
Absolutely.
Are we
yeah.
all right to
It's a
say
known
that?
fact. Oh, no, we're fine to say that.
That is facts, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's facts.
If you Google that, if you put that into ChatGPT,
The
it'll be
Google- the
you know what
Google AI
yeah,
will come up.
Google AI or ChatGPT. Whenever I ask it a question, it gives me quite a comprehensive article. Right? If you ask it that question, ChatGPT, are women more picky than men? It'll say one word: yes. So let's ask it: are women more picky with their life, but with their partners?
Partners, I think, yeah.
Does that make sense? More
That kind of
picky.
does. I'm sure ChatGPT will figure it out.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go. Research suggests that on average, women tend to be more selective than men when choosing romantic and sexual partners.
I'm really sad I just didn't say yes.
But
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
I'd love
yeah.
it just said yes. But it says, but context matters. Here's a
Oh.
breakdown. Evolutionary psychology.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. And then modern social context. But this is the thing. That's what I was more on about, the modern social context.
But I suppose from
they're out and about now.
if you were back in the like Bronze Age and there was a lady chilling out in the village,
Yeah.
do you know, in the tent,
Yeah.
whatever, or the hut,
Yeah.
I'm sure she's also like the Bronze Age stuff. You're looking for a fella with lots of bronze.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that would have been the big thing.
He wants to be tall. He doesn't
Your
want
man
to be,
definitely has iron.
he doesn't want to be
Jesus
heavy
Christ.
set, you know. And so in fairness, the same stuff probably applied.
But beauty standards change. Let's put aside the actual.
It's funny they didn't
Stuff.
mention anything about the good looking.
No, but they did though, because like height, not fat.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like, so beauty standards have changed.
yeah.
I'm not just talking about your face. I mean, like, it'd be the same. I think beauty standards change for fellas as well, probably a lot of the time. They always make the argument that your one, what was your one's name? Marilyn Monroe's.
Yeah, Marilyn Monroe.
That she was a little bit chubbier than what you see supermodels looking like now. That's what you say. Whereas nowadays, apparently the picture of beauty is to be thin as a rake.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, and I'm not just saying this to be a martyr, it is not. Like,
Yeah.
we're not all fellas are looking for tiny, like mad skinny yolks with nothing on them. Honestly. Do you ever see
you-
supermodels now and you
do you
go,
ever-
that poor devil could do with a lump of a BLT?
Do you
or
ever
a
want to take a
fucking-
left turn out of a conversation at times?
No, I want to go
No,
for this
you wanna
health for
go
leather.
it. Okay,
this
fair
is a
enough.
men's health podcast.
Men's health
Right?
podcast,
Okay,
yeah.
so let's talk.
Find out your prostate.
Excuse me. This is a men's health podcast. Let's talk about women. What I'm saying is that beauty standards change across the way. There was a dad bod thing for women then that they were into for a while.
Yeah.
I think they were only pretending to be into that.
No,
weren't
they're
they?
still into it.
Well, then there you go. So
It's wonderful.
years ago, if you had a dad bod, like well, we're like you know that you wouldn't have got away with it.
Yeah.
Do you know? Whereas nowadays they're saying it's all right to have that.
Okay.
So that changes across the board. No one's talking about feelings.
No.
No one's talking about. Here's a good one. Do you think it's superficial to be attracted to somebody's income?
Do I think it's superficial? But just back to the evolutionary stuff. Like, I want someone that's going to mind me.
Yeah.
And obviously, if I had the option not to work for the rest of my life, wouldn't I enjoy that?
But
I
would you though?
Would I not work?
A big lack of
I-
vocation out of your head.
Yeah, no, I'd be very bored.
Yeah.
But some
And-
people, I'm sure, enjoy not working.
Yeah. So, but what? So a lot of people would say, "Oh, she's only with him for the money,"
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Maybe that's true in some context, but
Nothing wrong with
there's
it.
a lot of people there who had enough drive to go out and fucking be powerful
Yeah.
people.
Yeah,
Do you know?
Yeah.
What a fine, powerful fella that is.
Yeah.
Yes, he became a billionaire because of that power, but that's what I'm attracted to. And the wallet's fair
Oh,
hefty
I see
too.
what you mean. That the way they got the big pound is the thing that's actually more
Yeah.
of the attraction.
Because I think you're attracted to drive and ambition.
Yeah,
You know?
I'm with you.
And that's why loads of these end in divorce. Because it turns out that one person was after the other person's drive. And
Yeah.
then it was like,
We had to go to the solicitor this evening.
Oh, is it over?
Well, it was.
No, is it over, Ray? I no wonder we're talking about women and you looking for a new one.
Oh, it.
I knew it. So let's get Ray's, for all you women out there, let's get Ray's perfect woman.
No,
over 5'12".
I was a bit overzealous in the car with Laura. I was like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah.
You know, when I had no reason to be. You know, I was kind of like, yeah.
I'm sure she told you no reason to be.
Yeah, she said, absolutely no reason to be there now. You're after panicking me.
Yeah, and then you said, also, I didn't realise.
I said, I didn't realise. I'm very sorry.
I didn't realise I was so wrong.
I was so wrong.
There's so many fellas sitting
and then
home
we were
going,
sitting in the waiting room for the solicitor. I was like, it's a good job we're here. It's a good job we're here. I can ask some questions. I said, Jesus, no, but you can't be doing that. That's our solicitor. You can go back and get your Ballina solicitor now.
You know the way some people we talked about a couple weeks ago have the packed bag ready to go, the middle of the night bag. Laura has a.
I have the middle of the night bag.
Yeah, but Laura has a solicitor's document always ready to load up on her phone.
Yeah, I suppose I'm now looking at our solicitor, which we haven't had for long, only since we got the house.
Yeah.
Dermot is his name, very nice man.
Yeah.
But Dermot, you'd be looking at him going, whose side are you going to take now if it all goes
If it
shit?
comes, yeah.
Am I going to be sent back to Ballina?
If it goes tits up.
Call up Dodd.
I always love the idea that, like, I think it'd be class if me and Nicola got divorced. I'll just leave it there now. At that.
Yeah.
If me and Nicola got divorced, right, and then we had to pick a solicitor to mediate.
Yeah.
A mediatory solicitor.
A mediation solicitor.
A mediation solicitor.
Yeah.
Right. A mediocre solicitor.
Yeah.
No, yeah. So would it matter the sex, the gender of that person? Because if I went in to a solicitor and it was a fella, and we were like, we need to sort this out. We're getting a divorce, right?
Yeah.
And we need to figure out who gets what, like, or whatever. And then Nicola started piping up. Would he end up going, oh, no, I have the same thing at home, Mark.
Yeah.
No wonder.
Do you think the fella would be more sympathetic to you?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But if you went in,
if it was a
lady,
woman, would she be like, I don't know how you put up with him, Nicola. The head that he's fat, not over 5'8". What a waste of time. Would that matter?
Yeah,
do you know?
You wouldn't know.
Because we all like to pretend that solicitors and all these people, they
very impartial.
They're not, but no one's fully impartial.
No one's fully impartial.
We all have human feelings.
I had a question for you.
Yeah.
And it actually arose there at the weekend from Conversations in the Van with the Atlantic, which will be a separate Patreon publication at some point.
Genuinely, we could do that.
Yeah.
Because me and Ray now are in the van together every weekend until 5 in the morning.
We could get 2 or 3 hours extra.
Yeah, you
podcast
could
material
if you're on Patreon.
If we
it's
just
not a bad idea. I have that little Zoom recorder now.
It'd be nice now.
Fire it up on the dash. Honestly, like, because we. No, but the thing is, though, when me and you chat, like, normally.
We'd have to heavily redact it.
No, but. Okay, I redact me as. No, we're not too indifferent to this, though. Like, as in, we don't talk, like. We don't say anything that would get you in mad trouble.
No, not
really.
No,
like,
no.
we're not like pigs or misogynistic.
But you brought up a thing.
Yeah, yours, wasn't it? Yeah.
If you and Nicholas split up.
Yeah, I keep bringing that up now lately. Right? I don't know what that's about.
If you and Nicola got the divorce or just split up, and all of a sudden you found yourself living in a house share with 2 other lads, or maybe a lad and a girl.
Yeah.
You know,
2 other people, yeah.
2 other people.
I don't remember this, but go on anyway.
Yeah, but no, I didn't ask you this question.
Oh, cool, that's why.
But the thing came into my head. I wonder how much your life would change. Obviously, Nicola wouldn't let you see the girls. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, because she'd tick with you.
Yeah, but that's like... But there
so
you go.
what would you do with your week?
If I was
Can you imagine if you were out on your own and you were like, that's it now, Mark's by himself?
Yeah.
Would you just do loads of gigs?
No, it's more... Do you know what you're describing to me now is like... You know those...
Tonight at Waxy, 6 o'clock, Mark Kennedy. 8 o'clock, Mark Kennedy. 10 o'clock, The Atlantic featuring Mark Kennedy.
Yeah. I mean, it is funny
12
you say
o'clock,
that.
DJ Mark Kennedy.
It is funny you say that, though, because, like, I do often wonder. So, like, in the early years, in our early 20s, me and Nicola lived with other people.
Yeah.
All lovely people.
Yeah.
We never had any problem with any housemate ever, genuinely, right?
I'd love if you were stuck in with someone you didn't enjoy.
No, well, I mean, that's another thing, is that I'm not coming at this from the point of, I've lived with people before, Ray.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
But the fact that me and Nicola are now, like, married and over all of that, and this is not, people live in house shares all the time, whatever. I couldn't go back to not...
Do
you know what it is, right? And I'm really sorry to anyone out there who thinks that bodily functions aren't real, okay? But men are real, and this is a Men's Health podcast.
Yeah, okay.
I can't be in a house where I'm holding in farts.
Really?
No, I couldn't be. I couldn't be in a house where I'm going, Jesus, Sheila's downstairs. She's just back from work. I can't shite now. I can't go in and shite and fart. Do you know what I mean?
I've never seen anything on a rental ad. No farts.
But I mean the personal embarrassment of
Yeah.
it. This isn't to let out some of Kendy's secrets now, right?
Yeah. Oh, you fart a lot.
But what I'm saying is you'd have a guest over at the house for the guts of an hour. And me and Nicola would see them at the door. And we'd go, great to see you now, Paul.
Yeah.
Bye now.
Yeah.
Tell the kids we were asking.
And next thing.
Close door. And Nicola doesn't even react anymore. She just goes, that's
does
Mark's
Nick-
freedom for
Does
last hour.
Nicola not fart a lot in the house, no?
No, the women don't fart at all.
Really?
No, they've no butthole. They
Right.
don't. The
So she doesn't?
no, it's only, but it's the freedom
Or
of
are
a
you,
fella.
not, are you not allowed to, are we? Is this
Women don't fart in their
Is this a
sleep at all.
situation
That
where me
doesn't
and you
happen.
can't openly speak
No.
about what happens in our own homes?
No, but we'll do
that-
it.
is
We'll,
that-
we'll do it in code,
Okay.
Because we don't give women have secrets that we'll never know about,
Yeah.
and that we shouldn't know about.
Okay.
This is the other thing about a relationship.
Yeah.
I believe in some things being private,
Yeah.
even in a married life, right?
Yes.
Women don't believe in that. They want to know everything you're doing all the time. I answered the phone on the toilet today to Nicola, and she didn't even bat. She was like, "Come here, yeah, we have to go downtown later on." I was on the ball, like, no privacy there at all. I was.
How do I establish if
So
Nicola
the-
farts in code?
This is what I'm saying. This is
Okay.
the point. So there's no privacy for a fella at all anywhere in the
Yeah.
world. There's parts of a woman's life. So let's talk about it in codes. I have never in my life heard Nicola fart ever, ever. And it certainly doesn't happen when she lets her guard down when she's asleep.
Right.
It does not.
Right.
That's not when they let it go.
Would Nicola whistle
Let
a lot?
it go.
Would she whistle a lot in your company?
From which end? Are we still talking about?
I wanted to try and go code. Because if you're saying Nicola's whistling, that's perfectly normal.
Nicola would whistle in her sleep quite a bit.
Would she whistle in her sleep, yeah? Would it be not
She'd
loud?
knock out a serious tune.
Would it be loud? Would it be loud enough to wake you up?
Yeah, I do often. Like, she'd wake herself up whistling sometimes. She's gonna fucking kill me.
I can't leave you there. I can't leave you to die in that hill.
No, come on, no, because that's when it happens.
Yeah,
Ray.
okay. So Laura, of
course it does.
Laura wouldn't have been much of a whistler when I met her first.
Once you get married, they start
my-
whistling way
in
more
my company.
because they open up. They
Yeah,
start
no,
you
in
know.
fairness, she hid the whistling an awful lot.
But that's
And-
what they do.
And I'd always ask her, I said, I'm a real big fan of whistling. Any chance you're any good at it?
She would always say, like, she'd probably say to you, "Why are you always whistling?" And I don't even know how to whistle.
Yeah, would I'd say that to her? I was like, yeah. So, but then, thankfully, then once we got married, then she kind of took to the whistling.
She takes in one day. She started tipping around the place. Oh my god!
But it's in fairness to Laura,
more like a trombone than
I
whistling,
thoroughly
like.
enjoy. She got into comedic whistling.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
She'll kill you. You know that.
Why?
What is a comedic whistle?
Comedic whistle is, knocking a bit of crack out of it.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, I
so
like
into
that.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm so into that.
It's
I
a
pay
really,
for that.
really
no, I
attractive.
don't.
It's a really, really attractive feature.
It is so good.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
and
laugh
that's the
so
other thing.
much.
That's why married couples is brilliant. Is that when you release, if you will, if you'll pardon the pun,
Yeah.
that the inhibitions that come with whistling,
Yeah.
it opens up your relationship to the best crack you'll ever have.
It honestly is.
It does because I've talked about it before on this podcast.
And we
that-
are talking about whistling.
We're talking about whistling now, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. No, yeah, the whistling donkeys. So, what I mean by that is, I've said that I'll come up with some great comedy bits as well. You people out there listening know
Yeah, yeah.
some of the finest stuff, and Nicola won't bat a Kendy at us.
That's right.
I'll rip a fart and she go, "That was class."
Yeah,
was hilarious.
There's an appreciation for it.
Yeah.
And I'm finding myself going, that was particularly good, that whistling tune you just have
It's
to make
how
it
I
there.
know that in 250,000 years of evolution, we haven't come that far. That's
Oh,
how I
it's true,
know.
yeah. Do you think
because
back-
we still, the lowest common denominator is someone farts and we all go, "What
Do you
hilarious."
think though back to our Bronze Age couple?
Yeah.
Do you think back in the Bronze Age when
Before there was even language, they were grunting from both ends
when
and laughing.
Mickey had whistle a tune,
Yeah.
and Mary would go, "Ooh,
Yeah,
that's good
yeah.
crack now that."
That was a hilarious whistle you had. Definitely.
I think that's enough of that now. Before we get killed.
No, honestly, I think that it's been a thing the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Whistling will never not be funny.
Speaking of, I know we're on the
They'll
whole-
kill us, by the
whole-
way.
Yeah, I know.
Don't let them listen.
On the marriage stuff.
Oh, fucking hell. Yeah.
On the marriage stuff, I know I told you before that I had great success with regard to buying a new bass guitar, where I spent many, many weeks looking at a very expensive guitar, and then I settled for a cheaper one.
Yep.
And Laura was quite supportive of the cheaper one because she's seen that I had made a sacrifice.
Yeah.
Right.
We talked about a loophole.
It was a real magic moment
yeah,
for me. Yeah.
it's a loophole for fellas. They've been using it all over the place.
Yeah. So I suppose the whole buying a bass element whetted my appetite for it. I'm enjoying now looking at other basses.
Yeah, I mean, it's like trying heroin once, going, look, Laura, I just want to try heroin today.
Yeah. just once, and she was very supportive. And maybe it was the cheaper heroin I tried in the end.
You tried bad old heroin, yeah.
Yeah, bad old pucky old
Old
sour
pucky
heroin.
old sour heroin, not good.
But she was delighted that I got what I needed to get done.
But then you saw a junkie downtown.
I wanted
and
more.
he was well out of it. You were like, that must be savage heroin.
So I found an app called Reverb, which you're probably familiar with. I've stayed away from it. My whole music buying experience, I very much hold me own on adverts, and sometimes I go to Dundee in the music section, which is always a joke compared to the adverts section.
Yeah, Dundee is brilliant if you want to buy an Iveco Jeep, right?
Yeah.
Bet to bits with bale and twine. It is not good for.
No, it
music
does have the
equipment.
music instruments section, but it'd be the worst stuff in the world.
The worst stuff going.
Yeah.
It's amazing that the people with the worst music gear, they're the ones that find Dundee.
But they think, well, the only place I can sell this is Dundee, but
Yeah.
they don't know the secret that adverts is actually the place to sell it. Anyway, found Reverb, which is a very good musical instrument.
Yeah, but it's a worldwide one.
Worldwide,
That's why
yeah.
I never use it. You could be like, I want to buy that guitar off your man who lives in a
Japan.
hut in Italy. Yeah, and you're like, I don't trust this fella.
So I was sitting on the couch last night watching Love Island, as you do. It's back on, by the way. I'm not
Sorry,
going to talk.
don't say as you do, please. Like as if we
Some
all
people do.
As you do.
As some people do.
Don't put me in that bracket
Sorry.
as well, okay?
Sorry now.
Can we just have a chat over here? If
It's
you don't mind?
absolutely wonderful this year, by the way. I know I say this every time, and I worry about the previous episodes where I spoke about it because they won't date well. Because anyone going back listen to an episode in 2021 of us and me talking at length about Love Island.
Maura Higgins farting or something,
Well,
or whatever.
whatever.
It was. Yeah.
Anyway, watching Love Island, but I was also having a look on my Reverb app,
Mm-hmm.
and I was looking for particular bases, and of course there's about 3 for sale in Ireland because it's not a big one in Ireland. But I was looking in the United Kingdom, and there was a shop in Leamington Spa, where I actually have a relative. It's a really unusual name, isn't it? Leamington Spa. It's a town. And there was a really nice bass guitar shop over there. And I was going, geez, I'd love to go over there and try out some basses.
Ah, how class would that be?
And it'd just be absolutely tremendous.
Yeah.
So I was looking at it, and then I thought, I wonder how much the flights are from Knock to Birmingham, which is beside Leamington
You
Spa.
have done this on so many occasions.
So I started looking up the flights, and I got caught. She said, what are you doing?
Oh no.
Yeah, she happened to spot the side of the phone.
She saw you going
seen
for a
me on the
second dose.
Ryanair.
She caught you injecting.
No, but she immediately thought when I was looking on Ryanair that I was doing something like I used to do, being pure romantic and perhaps booking a nice little trip away for us.
Yeah.
Which I haven't done in a while because I'm too busy looking at bases and working to pay for the floor in the house.
Yes.
But I shouldn't be looking at bases either because there's money to be spent on the floor in the house.
Yeah.
So I was backtracking. I was like, I'm just looking up flights to Birmingham. She's like, what's in Birmingham?
Ray started backtrack. Oh, I was just looking up porn. Sorry.
Trying to find out where my prostate is. And this nice lady and these 6 black gentlemen will tell me where it is.
And they're very excited about it now, I must say. They absolutely can't wait, yeah. Oh, they're just packing their clothes now. They're just packing them, yeah. That's why they're naked. They're packing their bags.
I was caught so badly. And so why are you looking up flights to, where are you going? I said, Birmingham. She said, why are you looking up flights? I said, I just want to maybe go out on a Tuesday evening and come back on a Wednesday evening, and then I get to spend the day, the Wednesday, which in my mind would be bliss.
Oh, it'd be
Serenity.
fantastic.
And you could go for a little sandwich and a coffee in the meantime and
Yeah.
think about some of the things you've played.
Yeah.
And come back and,
Yeah.
who knows, buy something.
And like,
perhaps.
not to call out every music shop in Ireland, but if you want to go do that in Ireland,
There isn't a whole lot of...
you're kind of going up going, I wonder will I try 40 different Squires? You're kind of like, is there anything,
They're all new. They're all new guitars. Like, I wanted to try out.
And let's
some
go to
old
Jimmy's
ones. Yeah.
music shop. He's
Yeah,
pretty
Jimmy's
good.
quite
Yeah,
good.
Jimmy's good, yeah.
So glad you reminded me of that place there now. So that'll be the next trip. But
He has no basis.
she basically
really.
said, "Why would you go? Why would you do that? Why don't you organise little trips away for us anymore?"
Oh, you're
I was like,
done.
yeah, it's done. And then she's like,
Fucking hell.
He said, it looks like you there with your bass, and you bring your bass away every weekend to these fancy hotels, and you don't bring me away.
That's so true.
I bring the bass.
You
away.
brought your bass to a super fancy
Johnson
hotel.
Estate,
Johnson
yeah.
Estate,
and we had a
Nedfields.
wonderful evening.
We did, yeah.
Playing a wedding, but me and the bass were away at a nice.
I did catch you in the bass in the back room. But anyway, we won't get into
I
that.
was
for
in
a
the
sec.
back room with the bass, just me and the bass.
You were pulling the 5-string off it.
pulling the strings off it.
No, so is she getting to that stage now where she's like, excuse me, you've now gone full circle the other way? And
Well,
you're not
I
thinking
don't know
about
what to
being
do.
more
What to do with my want? I still want to go to the Bass Brothers.
Well, then
or
do
whatever
it.
it's called.
If I've learned anything, I always stand up to Nick.
Do you?
Yeah, yeah.
You don't.
I do, yeah. I do.
No, you don't.
I do.
No,
Do you
you don't.
I do, yeah.
Tell us why.
Do you want to hear something? I really hope. No, Nicola has half started listening to the podcast.
No, she doesn't listen.
Okay, no.
Yeah.
This is, you want to know how. This is nothing to do with Nicola, by the way. She's like, it's more my fear
Yeah.
of what will happen. Like, she'll be probably really nice about this.
Yeah.
but it'll probably hurt her inside. So
Okay.
I just why about a week ago.
Sure.
Yeah, I hope she doesn't listen because I would probably ask her soon. Brendan said to me, "Do you want to play football, like JA football? Come on,
Yeah.
right?
Which club?
St. John's. Can I
And
say
would-
that?
yeah.
St. John's. Yeah. So Sean Brown is the coach of the So Brendan said to me, "Why don't you come back? I haven't played football since I was 20."
It's really weird. I don't remember getting a similar call.
Yeah. Well.
We weren't in the car.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
Fine.
Ray,
There's sounds like a man backtracking again.
come here. The second they have a junior G team, we'll give you a shout.
Anyway,
No bother.
so you got the call up.
Me and Brendan finished the gig in Waxies, right? And on the way home, Brendan said, "Would you not just come down and play a bit of JA? It's
Just
really
before
easy
or after
going."
you kissed.
No, after we were kissing.
After
we were kissing. Big old slobbery mouths on us. And he said, "You know, they have lovely showers." But, and I was like, "Brendan, I have thought about that I would love it. I would love to go back and try and play JA."
Yeah.
And Brendan said to me, "You have young kids, Mark, just make sure go home and
Talk to the wife.
talk to the wife about it, like, you know." And I was like, "Yeah, no, I will. I'm going to do
Yeah,
it."
because you made
Brendan.
this mistake before. You went doing things and didn't tell her. And then, yeah.
What did I do that
Yeah,
time?
the Alan Clark show.
What?
Remember the Alan Clark show?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, you're
Alan
like,
will
yes,
kill us.
Alan, I'm definitely
Alan
doing
will
that
kill
show.
us for that.
I'm definitely doing that show. And then next thing,
Yeah.
oh, Nicola, I've just said yes to a show.
Yeah, I agreed to plans with Alan Clark one time, without telling Nicola. And she was like, "Well, that's great. I'm delighted you did that now without telling me." Anyway,
Yeah.
it was more that. That was Friday a week ago. Friday just gone, we'll say, from this. I still, I every hour I think about bringing it up and I go,
When you can't bring it up to
I
her.
just go, no, I can't do it. That makes it sound really bad, like hopefully she does listen actually, because then this would be my way of telling her without having to face her.
Yeah.
No, but that makes her sound really bad, but it's more my fear of, do you know what the fear is? I know what the fear is. Nicola will say to me, "Mark, if that's what you want to do, go and do it." But then if I go and do it and she's struggling with the girls once,
Yeah.
I'll go, I'm never ever going ever again. That's the end of that. I'm not. I know, that's me. That's what I'm saying. It's actually me. I'll go, no, that's me, you know?
Yeah.
And then she'll be like a bull in the house trying to deal with the girls, and she'll be trying to explain to me how it's not my fault, and then I'd be going, it's fucking my fault. Fellas are very complex. Fellas are super complex.
Men's health.
Men's health, you guys. This is a men's health podcast.
Responsibly, point to the prostate.
The other fear is that she'll go, "Mark, you haven't played since you were 20 years old. You fat piece of shit."
Yeah, but it
You
could
know?
be good for you. You could get told.
Oh, I'd love to.
Yeah.
I'd love to. I talked about this with, I was chatting to Bethany from the Atlantic Band yesterday. I was talking about fitness,
Yeah.
right? Fitness all on that stage there. Actually. I was talking about fitness and how, like I've said on this before, that I don't do a huge amount of exercise anymore or whatever. But I've really started noticing it in the last, you went to physio, Brendan, today, which kind of half reminded me of this. I've started noticing it in the last 2 or 3 weeks. I feel great in myself, right? I don't feel like I'm going mad downhill. However, the first couple of hours in the morning, it must be me age, like I'm not, first couple of hours in the morning, I find it very hard to move and do anything.
Really?
So what I mean by that is
Stiff like.
stiff, just stiff. I'm not saying I think there could be something wrong with me. I'm just saying I do be unmercifully stiff.
Was it that long walk you took
And
yesterday?
usually I would be stiff in my early 20s. I was stiff in the morning, but I was up.
A different kind
you know,
of stiff.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm a different kind of stiff now in my
Different kind
later
of stiff
years.
now in your years.
And I noticed it when, right? I noticed it when Ali James Kendy has a little step that she uses to wash her hands.
Yeah.
Because the sink is too high.
Yeah.
This step is the guts of 10 inches high.
Yeah.
And Ali said to me, will you jump off that? She jumps off it, 10 inches off the ground. And I had to say to Ali, I better not jump off that, love, this early because my knees might go.
Oh God.
But I felt that I knew, geez, I can't be jumping that height. My knees
10
will go.
inches.
And Nicola said to me, what is wrong with you? I didn't know she was listening. And Nicola was like, are you serious? Like, you're afraid to jump? And I kind of went, I actually am afraid.
I think you probably should go back playing the GAA just for your
I
own
need something.
mental health.
There was a fella that I used to be friends with. He was a lot older than me, right? But he used to do pilates every morning.
Pilates.
Whatever.
Sorry, and I also had a different image in my head of him in a car with a pilot abroad at Strandhill Airport.
He used to do Pilates every morning.
Right.
And
Pilates is mental.
he was in his 60s.
Yeah.
Sprightly. And I was like, did you want? And then she was like, I go for walks and stuff. But like that really benefited him. But the problem is I don't have the headset to be doing stuff like that. The reason I want to go back doing JA is, number one, I haven't played since I was 20.
Yeah.
I want to know if
Were you
my
any
man,
good at the GAA?
No, I want to know if man was lying to me.
Oh.
Mark, you're brilliant. Just can't remember now. Oh, I know. If Sean Brown hears it, he probably won't let me. I'll have to do it. Like,
Yeah.
But the other thing is, well, then, is that again, I need that jump to get fit.
Yeah.
I'm not going out running 5Ks.
Yeah.
High rocks, 8 my passage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What's the other one? What's the other one that they do?
The
High rocks-
CrossFit.
CrossFit.
Yeah, I'd be fair cross if I had to do that.
Yeah.
That's the truth. I need something. I need to run and only realize after that I think I'm going to have a heart attack. I don't want to realize I'm going to have a heart attack during the exercise.
Yeah.
You need it, and you need something.
You really enthralled me on the LGA stuff there, coming home on Saturday night. When you said that Tyrone, who won a big match, I don't know, in some sort of sporting event.
Yeah, they won. It was paddleboard. You know, like where you like tennis.
When you said the whole team grows tremendous beards to intimidate the other team.
Yeah.
And I didn't realise that was a thing. And I've yet to, I must actually look them up and see what they look like.
It was 2000. And when did Tyrone 19?
Started
Did they
growing
beat
the beards.
Mayo in 19?
Yeah.
2021 they beat Mayo.
Yeah.
They
I can't imagine whoever floated this idea in the dressing room. You know, lads, we're not doing great now. We
Yeah.
haven't won an All Ireland in a long, long time.
Yeah.
But I have an idea. What's that, Jimmy? We're all gonna grow fucking loads of facial hair. And we're gonna be pure intimidating.
Well, didn't it work?
I want us to all look rough as shit.
Will you double check my facts there, Brendan, if you don't
Yeah.
mind?
2008.
2008
But
it was.
I wonder. It's a wonder that Dublin don't kind of go. Well, the Tyrone lads are just
Dublin lads
scared.
can't grow beards.
No,
They're not able.
but the Dublin lads just show up and their whole new outfit. It's not an outfit in GA.
An
is it?
outfit?
What is it? what do you call GA outfits?
Like a kit,
the
like a
kit,
jersey.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
kit. Just vests.
Yeah.
Just old Dublin vests. Just like
98 runners
and completely
fucking-
skinned
Yeah.
heads.
Yeah.
Like that white lad off Power. You know the book, yeah.
Yeah,
Him.
yeah.
Loads of him.
What was his name again? I can't remember. Oh,
Timmy or Johnny
Bullis or something they
Bullis
called him. Yeah. No, it was 2008. No matter how much your years getting mixed up since COVID. So they all came out it was only in like the knockout stages. They came out in big beards and everything. And
Yeah.
this was a big
burly
manly
men,
Tyrone team. What's after
Yeah.
happening there?
And you'd wonder then-
and people are people are always saying that about Tyrone now, is that Tyrone would not have been All Ireland contenders right up until yesterday, or you know. Whereas, and before that, people would have been going, oh, I wonder, are we going to see that knockout Tyrone now from now on?
Yeah.
You know, we could see one of those knockout Tyrone teams.
Yeah.
You know, which kind of was 21 as well. 21 was like that. They were not supposed to win the All Irelands. No, they should not have.
Completely lost. you then,
Sorry, but you
Yeah, I
hang
know,
on, Ray.
I know, but let's just
Don't.
remember here now.
But don't
we're not
tease
a sports,
me.
We're not a sports podcast.
Don't tease me by deciding to talk about Jay.
I like
do you not see
teasing
how
you.
bright
I
I
know,
got?
yeah, you got-
God, I was like, oh, are we going to do this? Are we
How
going to do
come
this?
you don't be on like a sister podcast with Brendan and Emlyn and actually talk yourself and Emlyn?
So,
He was invited.
Brendan and Emlyn Mulligan, former Leitrim footballer, have a podcast called On the Edge.
is it
which
Brendan and Emlyn or Emlyn and Brendan?
It's just Emlyn.
The Emlyn and Brendan.
It's just Emlyn. No, you can find it like on Spotify and all that, can't you? You should go listen to it. Like, so right now they're just doing
What's it called?
On the Edge.
On the edge
with Brendan.
Oh, so
Yeah.
it's like off the ball, but it's on the edge.
It's on the edge, yeah.
Right.
I thought,
Catch you, Brendan.
so this is really good because it's a sport podcast and primarily now only a football JA podcast. But if it was a hurling one, I said to Brendan, they should call it the Sideline Scuss. He should call himself the Sideline Scuss.
I have no idea what that means.
Okay, so
Like a scut would be something my mother would have called people.
yeah, but
back in the day.
when the ball goes out over the line in hurling,
Yeah.
you take a sideline cut.
Oh, I see.
So
That's very
that's
good.
a sideline cut. So
Yeah.
anyone out there, if you're a hurling fanatic and you want to come up with your own hurling podcast,
Yeah.
call yourself the Sideline Scuss.
Nice.
Anyway, beyond that, they do a football podcast.
Yeah. Would you not go on that?
No, I would love to, but what I said
haven't
to them-
asked you?
No, they haven't asked me yet. No, Brendan asked me to do this with them.
Do the cameras,
but the
but
problem
the
is, the problem is, I do not want to be liable
Yeah.
for the hate that will come from JA fans.
Okay.
Do you hear that bollocks who never played in his life chatting?
Yeah.
The podcast equipment's too expensive. It hurts my feelings, right?
hurts your
It
feelings.
hurts my feelings.
Too cheap, you mean? You made the same mistake as I
Yeah,
made.
it's too cheap.
Podca-
yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that statement.
Oh, it's
Podcast
so
equipment's
good.
too cheap.
That is the best comment you can put underneath. So they need to stop making those microphones so cheap.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Like, but anyway, I can't be doing this. Emlyn is well within his right. Emlyn works for RTE now. Like he's well
I
within his
hope-
rights to talk.
I hope you get back to the GA.
Yeah. So we're not going to talk about it for half an hour now. No.
No, I wanted to talk to you about the range.
Yeah.
Just really quick.
The range of what?
The range in the range.
Yeah.
The range is, so home base was here in Sligo.
You're mad about this range place, though.
And I hadn't set foot in it because we went. I
oh,
hadn't
you
set-
went to the end of
we-
the
we-
Woody's sale.
We ended the home base sale. So
Yeah,
home base
sorry.
was selling everything off. And
Yeah.
we went, had a great time there. And then the range took over. So now I don't know if there's any other house or town in the country have a range nearby.
Yeah.
But the range is now the new home base in Sligo.
It's certainly
And
just a new home base.
Myself and Laura, we went up on Sunday because we said we'll go up and sit in some of them couches and dream. You know?
But Steve,
Let's go up and sit in those fancy Harvey Norman couches and dream.
I just wish that if you were sorry now to cut across you again,
Yeah.
when you're going into these places, and they sometimes do it in films as a laugh or whatever, like, but
Yeah.
wouldn't it just be brilliant if you could rent the place, you could rent one of those, what they call them, the rooms like where you walk in and it's the full bathroom there.
Oh, yeah,
like the
yeah.
showroom, like the showroom.
Yeah.
You could rent the showroom. But you could sleep in the bed, shite in the toilet, like
Yeah.
use the
Yeah.
and do it for a day.
Yeah.
And then still walk out and go, that's not really for us.
Because it's funny because you wouldn't know.
You can't know in 10 minutes.
Like we looked at the couch above in Wicklow and we thought it was the best thing that ever lived.
Yeah, but that was in someone else's house now, Ray, and you weren't supposed to be looking.
And then Laura then went and looked up the reviews in it, and they all said, well, you can't take the cushion covers off, so you can't clean it. You can't turn it round, so it eventually gets all saggy and shit.
Yeah.
And like loads of things wrong with it. And
Yeah.
it's mad, like it was mad money.
Yeah.
So, yes. Anyway, we were up.
I've sorry again. I often find, everyone will agree with this,
Mm-hmm.
the fancier the couch looks, the less comfortable it is.
Probably, yeah.
Bring back the
But it can be
owl.
very
Do you know the
deceiving.
owl settees that we used to have back in the
Yeah.
day? Oh, Jesus, they were unbelievable.
They're so deceiving. You look at them going, that looks like an incredibly comfortable couch. And
And
you
there's
sit in
nothing
it and you're
underneath it.
immediately up, way off it again.
Yeah, because
Anyway.
you don't sink into it. If you
not
can
a-
get out of it too easily, it's not comfortable.
It's not about the couches. We were up inside in the retail park and we said, you know what, well, we're going to have a look in the other shops. So we said we'd go in and look in Range. Yeah, Range.
Yeah, Range.
And that was wonderful. But there was a music playing. You know the way there's music playing in the background?
Yeah.
So I'm going to play this and it's probably
Dun,
copyrighted.
dun,
So this
dun,
is what...
dun,
Now,
dun,
just
dun,
picture
dun,
yourself now.
dun,
You're walking around the range and it's all nice house furnishings and
Yes.
fake flowers and
And lovely
big mirrors
wallpaper.
and whatnot. And there's loads of other families and
Yeah.
gentlemen looking for...
Geez, the
power
Christmas
tools.
trees are in early this year.
They are
that kind of
indeed,
thing.
yeah. And this is the music playing in the background.
Yeah. How quick do you have to put all the shopping in the trolley? Is that what they're trying to do?
Wait for it. It's a James Bond film.
No, do you know what that is?
I was expecting Daniel Craig to come
That is,
jumping out.
it's not okay to rob an old woman. It's not okay to rob a car, so why would you rob a film? That's what that sounds like, doesn't it?
Yes!
Would you rob your own mammy?
Yeah. TV license
Yeah.
inspectors.
Would you
coming
go
to
into
your
town
house.
and rob everyone inside the town and then spit and call them every bastard under the sun? No, you wouldn't, so don't be pirating films.
Yeah.
That's the new Dodgy Box song. That's what they're going to start doing, putting on the Dodgy
I
Box
thought it was
song.
a very odd choice of music.
It's awful weird. It makes you rush around the place going,
Yeah.
shit, like we have to fucking get this stuff into the trolley quick.
And I met a lad that clearly listens to the podcast. He said, fair play to you. And I knew immediately that he was a
That was what he meant.
podcast listener.
That's what he meant.
And that's what he meant.
Yeah.
And we were talking about it. I said, this is really, I'm on edge. Like, I feel like I need to leave or I'd battle some aliens.
Yeah, who
or
picked
something.
that one?
I don't know who picked it.
Which is funny. Now, can we do a shout out to hotels speaking on music?
If you want.
Shite ones.
Okay.
If you want to keep the day going at a wedding,
Yeah.
once the dinner is over,
Yeah.
don't put on the Michael Bublé list again.
Yeah. Okay.
You have about an hour there between dinner and the band coming on
Yeah.
when the night needs to lift.
Yeah.
The Johnstown Estate was class.
Oh, they had the good stuff playing.
They
Sorry, I
had the
thought you were gonna
right.
slate them
They,
there.
no, they had the right good funky
Yeah.
upbeat music playing up until we said to them, we'll now switch over to our system and we'll
Yeah.
play the tunes.
Yeah.
And it
And then it
added-
went downhill.
No, and then it went all downhill. Then Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
The amount of hotels that you walk into that play shite music over the thing,
Yeah.
over the intercoms as well.
It's just down.
And then they
quiet
wonder
out.
why everyone kind of wilts like at 8:30. Oh.
I think when we arrive in the place, we should buy one of those cheap little kind of little speakery things,
Yeah.
a boombox.
Yeah.
And the first thing we bring in
Rammstein.
is the boombox.
Yeah.
And we just kind of stand there on the stage.
Yeah, we
and
walk out like David Byrne at the start of that. Stop
and we
making
turn
sense.
it on and just flip it down and going,
Yeah.
hello folks, we're the wedding band and while we're getting ready, here's your playlist.
Here's your
And then boom.
Yeah.
YMCA.
Just want to stay at the YMCA.
Yeah,
bye.
that was an odd choice
No,
for
yeah.
the kiddies disco the last day.
Yeah, we were all at a kiddies disco there the last day, and the first thing they did was play Do you know what my daughter kept saying?
Yeah.
HOTTOGO.
Yeah.
HOTTOGO. All she wants was Hot to Go.
Yeah.
That's all she cares about is Chapel Roan. She knows every single lyric of Chapel Roan.
That's great.
And I was like, I can't be the fella that goes up and your man is doing his kids disco thing. I can't go up and request HOTTOGO.
Well, you could. I'm sure we played it
Maybe,
for
I
you.
don't know. But well, he played Pink
Are the
Pony
lyrics
Club.
very graphic?
They are, yeah. But this is the thing. This is the thing about that as well, though. I've often thought that as well. So the lyrics are very graphic in Chapel Roan songs, and they're, but whatever. But they are in everything, and we were listening to stuff back in the day that we didn't understand either. And it's only it's only offensive if you let it be. When we were 12 years old, my friend Kevin got your man's song Because I Got High. And sure, we hadn't a clue what we were singing.
Well,
We
I
hadn't a clue.
woke up alone staring at my ceiling. I try not to care, but it hurts my feelings. You don't have to stare. Come here. Get with it. No one's touched me there in a
Damn
hot
hot
minute.
minute, and baby, do you
Wow.
like my
Right,
style?
okay. Oh, what's it take to get your number? What's it take to bring you home? Hurry up. It's time for supper. Order up. I'm hot to go.
Yeah.
Is he talking about her?
No, they're all about getting a takeaway and
Oh,
watching
okay.
Netflix.
Is it hot in here? Is anyone else hot? Woo, you
Yeah.
coming home with me? Okay, it's hot. I'll call the cab. That's the last line.
Yeah, that's it. When the Netflix is over, are we going to? No, you're
Yeah.
going to get into a car and go home to your own house now. That's what that is.
Okay. This is
But
the-
Ali knows she has all the HOTTOGO thing off.
Yeah.
That's what she.
Did you watch any bit of Glastonbury?
No.
Prodigy were spectacular. In fairness.
So I didn't watch Charlie XCX. I don't know who. I know
How do
who
you
she
spell
is.
that now?
But
You've been given this from the last week's episode.
did I?
It's Charlie, and then what's the letters?
XC.
Yeah. Well done. Yeah,
X.
Good man.
Yeah. So I know who Charlie XCX is. I don't know any of her songs or anything like that.
Yeah.
I do like your one. And by like, I mean, like, I was like, oh, I won't be listening to her stuff or whatever. But you know your one, CMAT?
Yeah, it's very good.
Is she Irish?
Yes, I think so.
I really like that thing where she does I did the butcher, I did
Yeah.
the baker, the home and the holiday maker. But I
Yeah.
just think she missed a beat because she could have done something hilarious when she said, I did leg things and hand stuff. Straight away, I think she should have said, I did leg things and butt stuff. Because it just reminds me of all the shit that we'd be talking when we were. You know
and
what I
butt
mean?
stuff.
Yeah, instead of hand stuff. It's not as fun.
Oh.
I did leg things and butt stuff. Do you know? I just thought it would have been a better lyric.
Like, you've lost me there now.
Anyway, listen, thanks a million for listening. That was the Kendy Raybo podcast. Fair play to Brendan for flicking the keys off himself. And we'll see you all next week.
Yeah, you know, you're actually wrapping it up there.
No,
now.
no, go on,
No,
I'm only
probably are.
messing,
wrapping-
yeah.
No,
No.
I have no other crack.
All right, well, I thought you were going to ask me about Glastonbury. And then...
Oh, I did.
No,
I-
the thing about Glastonbury is, geez, I really need to stop talking shite on this podcast. Once a week, you look at me going, geez, Mark, I have no idea what you're talking about.
if you're wondering what Brendan's bits was,
Oh, yeah, go on.
there was a.
Oh,
yeah,
I don't know if I had a point on Glastonbury or not. No, you're actually confusing me. Did I have a point on Glastonbury? Oh, people are giving out with that lineup. Load of shite. It looked like a great lineup,
did
by
look
the
like
way.
it was a great
For
lineup.
people who are into music, it looked like a pretty good lineup.
It was a savage
So will
lineup.
you all just shut up?
Rod Stewart, like.
Seriously. The Rod.
Yeah, the Rod
The
himself
Rod
was
came
there.
out.
Yeah, and the book from Cure came out. The Cure came out with
Yes,
some
I'm
young
not
one.
into it at all.
Yeah.
Pete Doherty came out. I'm not into it at all, but at least it was a bit of music.
Your man from the
See,
Lord of
Matt
the
went
Rings.
out with a band, like a full band on. I'm like, go for it, love. Great stuff, you know? Miserable bastards all over the place now, isn't there?
Brendan-
And you can't even park in town either. Wait, we get on to that now for a second. Okay, I get it.
Brendan's bits.
Yeah.
A couple put their baby up for adoption after 3 months because they were too busy. And it actually, when I read that, I kind of went, you know something? It's an option.
It's absolutely outrageous.
Yeah.
See, this is the modern. This one I'm on about. Do you remember I said women were off out working?
Yeah.
That's what you get now.
Yeah.
They go, do you know what? I'm actually flat to the mat now, actually, at the moment. That is so obscene to think that someone would do that.
the baby up
To
for
go, do
adoption.
you know what? You're actually getting in my way.
Yeah.
I want to prosper, like. Well, then stop leaving it in. Do you know?
Stop leaving it in.
Just don't
Wrap it
leave
up.
it in.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up
Yeah.
and stop leaving it in then if your life is too busy. This is the
Yeah.
other thing. You fucking all ye out there. Not just women, by the way. Women and fellas. I'm not really into having kids. Would you fucking stop writing everything that moves then, so.
Nicknames for lazy co-workers. These are Brendan's bits, by the way.
Like what?
Cordless.
What?
What do you think cordless? Why would someone be called cordless as a nickname? As a lazy co-worker?
Why?
Because only works for 2 hours. E.T.
E.T.
Yeah.
Because they're always bringing home.
They always want to go home.
Yeah, that's very good.
Kit Kat. You'll get this one.
Oh, because they're always having a break.
They're always
Yeah,
having a
that's
break.
good.
Muffler.
They're always go for a shite.
No, because they're always exhausted. Can we start calling Dwayne now? Dwayne is always absolutely wake. We can call him Muffler from now on because he's always exhausted.
He will kill us, but let's call him Muffler.
Mufflers.
I love that.
Seaweed
I love that. They're always having a bath.
just floats around all
Oh
day.
yeah, okay. Are you any of these, by the way, in your work?
Am I any of these in my work?
Keep going though. Keep going with them.
Sensor light. This is me.
Sensor light.
Sensor light only works if someone walks past it.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
brilliant.
And finally, wheelbarrow.
They're getting carried.
They only work when pushed.
Oh, I see. Yeah. They're kind of the same as getting carried.
Yeah.
That's very good.
I don't see any other ones then. Oh,
You
yeah.
don't know them.
Suppository. Always up someone else's arse.
That's very good. That's actually brilliant.
Yeah. I'm enjoying them now.
Have you any other old crack, Ray?
Let me just see now. Was that there was one other thing he was Brendan pointed out, that hotwifing,
Right.
which is essentially. I'll read it here now. Have
Is
you
that,
heard
when
it?
is that when you spark two wires together in a car to get it started?
No. Hotwifing, a new sex trend is supposedly saving people's marriages. Experts have warned it's not for everyone. You've probably heard of hot desking, but hotwifing's somewhat the same, but instead of sharing a desk, it's sharing a wife. Basically.
Oh yeah, that's really good. Why don't you ask them how they got on in Waco when they ran that kind of stuff?
You know, basically it's if you let your Nicola just tip out and enjoy yourself.
That's disgusting.
To
Can you do it the other way?
Can you do it?
Can I go? Can we do hot husbanding? Yeah.
You know something, this was my thought when I looked at it. I kind of went, well, if there's hot wifing going on, do you know, is hot husbanding an option?
The only thing is I wouldn't have the energy.
And we're not hot.
No, well, number one, we're not hot, but number two, like if I was doing what a husband is expected to do,
Yes.
you know, for 2 or 3 minutes,
Yeah.
I'd need to replenish. You know, I'd
Yeah.
need to have it on Lucozade and give me another hour, and there'd probably be another woman there waiting for me to be their husband too.
Wouldn't it be some crack if you're sitting there with the two girls now of an evening and Nicola landed in and she was just fresh off the
Fresh off the what?
fresh off the experience she had.
Yeah.
She landed in, hi, and you're like, hello, how
How'd
are
you get on, love?
How did you get on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that hot wifing is a really funny way to put that because it's prostitutes, right? Which is what they are.
What is that? But she's doing it for fun.
Sure, some prostitutes have fun too.
Yeah.
Sex workers.
Yeah, exactly,
Some sex workers have a lot of fun.
Yeah, they do.
The ones that I use anyway, they certainly pretend to do.
But I don't
for
know,
sure.
what would you say to Nicola?
Those fellas are flying.
When she lands in anywhere, would you ask her, how'd you get on? Was it good?
Well, how'd you get on though? How was work?
Yeah.
Jeez, I'm
No, but it
absolutely
wasn't
exhausted.
work. She was
I'm
out-
exhausted. He had me up in the cupboard and everything.
You start with St. John's GA and she starts hot wifing.
Yeah.
So you're in, you've
Who'd
had
be
your,
more exhausted coming home
you've had your GA fixed that morning,
Yeah.
and Nicola went out for the afternoon and enjoyed herself
to be a hot
to
wife?
a hotel or someone else's house or something, and she landed
That's
in.
disgusting, Ray. Shut up saying stuff like that.
Oh, but what if it's you?
Oh, that's like, if it was me,
Yeah,
it depends. Like, if I'm making money, then she has to understand that.
yeah, okay, but you're not making money. You're just out enjoying yourself with the other girls.
Listen, here's the thing, Ray.
We're all modern people here.
Like, if you want to keep your own mental health up,
Yeah.
you do need that separation sometimes.
Yeah.
So for me to do it would be perfectly reasonable, I think. You know?
yeah, I
Um,
don't know how you wouldn't get jealous. Do you know, like if Laura landed in now, having had a lovely afternoon off with some other gentleman.
That's disgusting,
And
Ray.
I'm-
Stop
and I-
saying that
and
about
I-
your wife. If
and
you
I-
went off now,
Now, if I went off,
it'd be a far different story because sometimes you need that break and the
Sometimes you need the
separation.
release, yeah.
You know?
yeah, true.
So,
But like I said, I wonder what the conversation would be like. Are you sitting there going, well, how did you get on? And come here, was he nice?
I can guarantee I know what's going to happen.
Where did he bring you? That's shite. That's shithole. Why did you bring you there?
Shitbox. I wouldn't have brought you there.
Yeah.
I know exactly what would happen.
What do you mean you're going up to bed for
If
sleep?
Nicola was hot wifing 3 or 4 fellas,
Yeah.
all that would happen there is she'd just be giving out about the other ones to that one.
Yes.
And vice versa the whole way across
Yeah.
the board. So she'd go over to Seamus's house and go, Mark is fucking driving me up.
Driving me mad.
And then she'd come back to Mark then.
Yeah. Seamus is driving me mad.
Seamus is after fucking driving me up.
And
the
come here,
wall.
do you think you and Seamus and the rest of the lads just end up starting going for pints together?
100%.
Because you'd all have a shared interest then.
100%. We'd all meet up then to go, what are we going to do, lads, about this one?
Yeah, true.
Because right now, I can't. I could only talk to myself and say, "Just what we're going to do about this one."
Yeah. So you would actually
So
would
actually,
welcome
there
some
could be some
company.
camaraderie in this. I'm all on for it now, actually.
Yeah. And Nicola's enjoying
A
herself as
load
well.
of mates that get what I'm going through.
Yeah, there's fellas that will actually know
Because
how
right
you're
now,
feeling.
I mean, the reason I'm shaving my head so much is because I'm fucking outside of that or pull it out. Because, like, you end up lying down in the bed at night going, what the fuck? What happened?
Where did my
And
life
if I
go?
could chat to Seamus and
Yeah.
Ian
Yeah, and he said,
Ryan,
"Aye, the same shit
and he
happened
was
to me."
like, Mark, she did it to me last night.
Yeah, yeah.
I could go, oh, you're joking, so I'm not mental.
Yeah.
And we could all
So,
cheers,
if
beers.
and we think to hear in the Kendy Raybo hot wife is good idea.
I think it's a really good idea, yeah. 'cause
Also,
we all know how it'll end up.
I don't know how this sparked in my head, but obviously you minding the children. Have you got on to Shannon's Mulrooney yet about meeting up with the Tuesdays with the parents group? Are you going doing that?
I actually haven't, but I might though.
Because I have to say, I seen her setup
Yeah.
Shannon does this kind of sensory thing.
Yeah.
With loads of sand and stuff, and she's tables all laid out.
Yeah.
I have to say, I wanted to sit there for a while.
No way.
And put things together.
So
and
you bring Layla.
I could bring Layla. I'll take annual leave. from
Yeah,
there,
you could be the hot. You could be
I have
another
to say,
one.
when we were out yesterday at the walk at Stroll for Sean, which was
Yeah.
a wonderful event, by the
Which
way.
is still
Yeah.
open, by the way.
Yeah.
I donate / stroll for Sean.
Yeah.
Sorry, together for Sean.
Together for
I donate .ie / together for Sean.
But when we were at that, myself and Laura were left at one stage with Layla. She was in the pram.
Yeah.
And we were doing really great. Like
Fine.
Layla was tipping away. Then Layla started crying. I walked away.
You were gone.
I physically left the situation because I was going, I know, because it's quiet and I don't want to be responsible. If I get seen near the child crying, people will think it was me that made the child cry. And all I did was tickle her toe.
And the other thing is as well, I mean, babies are all good and well, like, until they start crying.
Yeah, no, they're shit.
I mean, they're adorable and then they are shit.
Now, Laura did say she was taking a poo, and I said, how do you know that by the look
Laura
of her
was
face?
taking a poo. Oh no, sorry. Laura was like, you don't see what that red died for. I'm heading into the buses. I'm absolutely dying for a
standing
shite.
there, shiting herself.
Laura was like, I'm heading off there. There's a bush. Have you a jock leaf or anything? I'm fucking.
Anyway.
Layla, what? Yeah, no, yeah. One of the real simple pleasures. I don't know if I should tell this story. We'll finish on this one, and if you didn't hear the story, then we had to cut it because Nicola told me not to tell it. But I do. We give the girls a bath together. Okay, so this just shows you how little people know this. Fathers, when you have babies like that, you just let anything go. You could go around covered in piss, shit, puke, everything. You don't care. Yesterday evening, we were giving the two girls a bath, and we give them a bath together, and they love it. And it's actually a great break because they'll stay in the bath together for 45 minutes.
Yeah, and their fingers will get all weird.
Oh, but they love it though. They're like,
Yeah.
Ali's throwing water on Layla. She's dying laughing. They love it. But anyway, I was in putting clothes away, using that time to put clothes away.
Yeah.
And Ali said to me, Daddy, there's dirt in the bath, right? And I was like, Ali, that dirt came off you, love. I just washed you, like.
Oh, no.
And then she was like, no, it's here. And then I was like, give it to me. And she had a shite in her hand.
And you probably couldn't tell whose it was.
No, I knew exactly whose it was. Ali's too old shite in the bath, like, but. Right? But my favourite thing was, I was like, give me it. So I had to take it up then, like. But I don't want to make people know this, but kids are hilarious. Anyway, the best thing was when we explained to Ali that it was poo, it was like telling an adult. It was like telling an adult.
And then she realised.
Because she just went like,
oh no.
what? Like, you know the way you'd react if someone told you?
Yeah,
you know the way we'd all react if you told you were holding child? She was like, no, you're joking. Like, that's the way she was reacting. Like, are you serious? Did I just pick up poo? Like,
Because it's a lifetime thing. Once you get out of the Layla's stage, you actually spend your whole life avoiding poo. Like when you're walking and you see them, you're like, I'm going to steer clear of that now.
Yeah, the funny thing is, Ray, you say that, but you don't though. You become a father and then you don't avoid poo. There's no avoiding it.
Okay.
Your life turns to shit, literally.
That's great.
So,
it's funny as well. We really haven't left our roots. This is the shit we were talking about in the first 20 episodes.
in an outrageous too.
Yeah. There's some things in life are just consistent. And today was episode 291
It was.
of that consistency.
Fair play to Brendan and AI Brendan for flicking the keys off himself.
Yeah.
And sure, look, Ray, until next time.
Until next week.
Until next week,
Yeah.
fair play to me.
And point at your prostate. Fair play to me too.
Good luck.
Good luck. The Kendy and Raybo podcast, sponsored by Maeve's Cozy Front Lounge and the Carnival.